Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? Desi here. Hey, I wanted to talk about relationships and expectations. You know, I think we all get into relationships, throughout life, and it could be a lot of fun. It could be a lot of drama too. But we all experience it on different levels. As we go through life. And I think that one thing that's great about relationships, is that they are a mirror to ourselves, and we do get to see a lot of stuff that we don't normally get to see about ourselves that gets reflected back to us. So it could be really challenging and really rewarding at times. But in these relationships, I think I want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just good to keep a sense of your own self, and it's great, doing things for other people and stuff like that. But I believe that you also need to keep your sense of self, and to where you're headed in life and to what you want. You don't want to ever let your dreams die, on a shelf when you're in a relationship because it's comfortable and you're just doing so much for everyone else. Your happiness and your dreams should always come first, because if they are, then your happiness is just going to continue to spew outwards into your family life and into your relationship, and it's going to make the relationship even stronger. Everyone should have a sense of freedom and a sense of trust where we're not don't need to like dig through your person's phones or anything like that. It's just a sense of, if you're going to be with me, and if not, then just tell me and we can move on from this. But I know I don't want to be chasing no one around. When I get in a relationship, I just want to be straight up and honest. And if it's good, it's good. And if it's not, then let me know and we can move on from it. But I'm not the type of person that's going to be chasing someone around or trying to dig through phones. I just put my trust in and into the relationship, and and that's what it's got to be, because when you have trust, you build that love, and that's what's going to make the relationship go a lot further. And sometimes you got to have tough talks, but that's what being in a relationship is about, is being able to sit down with someone and be able to discuss what your boundaries are, and what you expect out of certain situations. And I think setting those boundaries clearly is a good thing, and not to an extent to where you're putting someone in a cage. You know what I mean? But obviously, if you're gonna be with someone and you want to be exclusive or whatever, then I think that's a fair boundary to set. And obviously, you could figure out this out with your own partner, but having a sense of freedom is really gonna let the relationship soar to new heights. Not only for yourself but for the other person. We all need our little alone time to have our creative time and do things that we need to do for ourselves. And really, just expectations alone, I don't think that you should really have any expectations for anybody but yourself. I think that's going to save you a lot of heartache in the end, is really not putting expectations on someone, even your partner. But because it really does, I don't know, it just it never works out. I don't think when you set expectations up, you're setting yourself up to fail. But if you're going to set expectations for yourself, and hold yourself accountable. But anyways, this is just something I wanted to talk about tonight. I hope everyone's having a wonderful night, and let's not try to put ourselves or anyone else into cages. Let's free ourselves, and trust each other, and with these relationships soar to new heights. With love and grace, and be each other's cheerleaders when we do get into these relationships, and spur each other on, and celebrate the uniqueness of your partner, and their and what they do, and they can celebrate your individuality, and what you do, and you come together and celebrate together. But don't ever try to stop someone from being their unique self. It's what really makes us who we are. So anyways, I hope everyone has a wonderful night, and until next time, let's make this world a better place together.